best could be. I haven't seen my Super Nintendo since 2003. That's alright, I don't mind. I've got a Switch in the old switcheroo. My friend Mike and Jaymo too.
Happy New Year, one and all, and welcome back to the Old SwitchAroo, where we're talking gaming retro with Mike and JMO.
I'm Mike.
And I'm JMO.
On January 14th, we are kicking off season 4 with The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask with a couple of our returning guest hosts, Derek McDuff from the Underrated Movie Podcast and Riri Yells from Twitch. So this is the last episode of a feature we've been calling the Old SwitchAroo Lite Switch, where instead of our normal focus on the over 300 retro games available on Nintendo Classics, we're going to be ranking the first 98 games that we've played on our way to the big 100, as well as sharing our New Year's gaming resolutions for 2026.
Subscribe or follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to make sure you're ready for when season 4 starts. Mike, I know it's going to be a good one because we've recorded that episode already. It's
Yes,
so awesome, so fun. Speaking of fun, Mike, very Merry Christmas to you.
and Merry Christmas to you.
We are recording on Christmas Day because I got my family stuff done early, and Mike, I think, has it still coming up here. Mike, you're a big Halloween guy. Are you a big Christmas guy too?
Um, I'm very pro Christmas lights.
Okay.
I'm not as big for on Christmas overall, all with the possible exception of weird Christmas specials.
Yeah, because you posted to our Discord. Don't forget, everybody, join the Discord. Links on www.theoldswitcharoo.com if you want to join up. But Mike posted one of my favorite Christmas memes, which is Marley and Marley and Me, which is a hybrid of the dog movie Marley and Me with the Marley and Marley. So, but I'm on the hot take though. Muppet Treasure Island way better than Muppet Christmas Carol.
Um, Muppet Christmas Carol for me, but
Really?
they are both extremely solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, they're good examples of when you just take the Muppets into sort of a genre or a story.
Yep, yeah, yep, yep. Yeah,
Like
you've said that, the Muppet formula.
yeah, like I do kind of appreciate. I can say it this way. Brian Henson said to me that I think he thought like if you were going to do another Muppet movie, the direction to go in this same vein wasn't necessarily a specific story, but basically just do a Western.
Ooh. Wait, Brian Henson, is this Jim Henson's son?
Son, yes.
Okay, okay. And is he involved in the current Muppet stuff?
Um, Not really. They kind of have sold stuff off, but that was kind of his like, yeah, if I was still making the calls, like that would be the direction to go.
Well, so this feels Christmas Carol adjacent, so I'm gonna go there. You saw Muppet Haunted Mansion, right?
Yes,
I like that movie.
it it. I'm not saying I'm confident about it, but it's definitely in the running for the best haunted mansion movie.
Right. Yeah. Well, so getting back to Christmas though, I shared on our Discord that my little brother gifted me our first ever Old Switcheroo merch. It is a eco-friendly washcloth with our dope logo on there, and I've got some extras. DM me in the Discord if you'd like one. Shipping's on me, and what you do with the washcloth. This is between you and God. But that was a weird way of saying it. I just said, look, it's a washcloth, okay? I don't expect you to keep it nice. That's what I'm implying, Mike. Keep it classy, Mike. Come on,
Yeah,
keep it
while
classy.
supplies last.
While supplies last, yes, I think I have 3 or 4 extras, so we'll just do first come, first serve. But I think they came out great. Like, I think they're pretty cool, and I'm definitely grateful that you talked me into doing the redesign with the new colors and everything, because that the old red one that your wife hated so much. And Kat, if you're listening, Kat, you're right. Okay, this one's way better. So I don't say that derogatorily. Yeah, awesome. Let's move on then towards the future, towards the new year. You ready?
All right.
We are going to be having a brand new segment of our show in season 4. Beginning with episode 5, we'll be announcing the first ever and standings. Now, the podcast that inspired me to start a podcast is called Ultra 64 and Wii Universe. Mike, did you ever mess with them?
I think I checked out a little bit on the 64 one. That
Yeah, they ranked Steve and Woody, the guys who did it, they ranked every N64 game released in North America. And he had a complete set at one point. So like he was playing on the cartridges and everything. And then when they wrapped up that show, they still wanted to keep podcasting. So then they tackled every Wii U game released in North America in their sequel series, Wii Universe. And so Steve and Woody, definitely check them out. We'll put a link in the show notes. But it was so fun hearing their rationale and seeing the kind of list form that I've been wanting to do rankings since the very beginning. Not really your thing though, Mike, right? Not normally.
um, not normally when it becomes a joint thing. I
Yeah,
think it loses personality and it loses sort of independent perspectives.
right. And so, those who've been listening for a while just know Mike. Mike's a big math guy. I mean, he's both good at it and it appeals to him. So and by we, I mean Mike, figured out using Google Sheet. Coding? Did you do coding? That's not the term. What is it? Programming?
I mean, I call this coding, and I would also call this I just knew what I wanted and how to
Yeah.
Google for it correctly to find someone else who's been like, no, here's how you do this. Plug in this code.
So Mike and I have each made our individual ranked lists of the first 98 games, which will bleed a little bit into season four, because like I said, we're going to start the segment in episode five. So we'll be including the games that we are uncovered in episode one, two, three, and four of season four. And the spreadsheet will find the mathematical average between our two opinions. And so this isn't gaming retro with Mike and Jaymo. This is the and in between. This is the mathematical middle ground between our very different personalities, our very different tastes in gamings. We're going to see exactly where we cross over. Did I summarize that well, Mike? Is that the gist of it?
Yeah, I think that's covered is it's basically taking the two rankings and if something's 12th on one list and 62nd on the other list, then it's going to end up at 37th. I don't know why I didn't
He's
pick easier numbers to do that.
He's just flexing math god over here. Okay, so we're gonna start off by looking at our individual bottom 10 games. So Mike, can we start with yours?
Yeah, and I will also mention all of this will show up on the website as well. So you'll be able to take a look at these, and those will stay roughly updated as we go.
Right.
Um,
And so do you want to read your bottom 10 or you want me to read it for you?
I can read my bottom 10.
All right, starting with number 98.
Um, or let's do these. We'll go down to the very bottom. So
Okay.
this is starting with 89 going down to 98, going down to, so we'll end with the bottom of the bottom.
Okay, that's not what we said in rehearsal, but that's fine. I'm down. All right, Mike, go.
Um, I am going to make a lot of people upset with a lot of this.
Yeah, but yeah, before he reads this, okay, this is why, I'm suddenly looking at your bottom 10, you heathen bastard.
Yeah,
I am suddenly very grateful that this is your list and not ours.
yeah,
You're done. Go, Mike.
yeah, because this is my list for how I feel about them. So we are starting with Metroid.
A classic. Oh God.
I really didn't have fun with it.
It's-
Um, Followed by Yoshi.
I kind of get that one. No offense, Lisa. And it's to be clear for people who haven't been following along or reading or watching our backlog, we don't mean like one of the 2D Yoshi games. We mean the Yoshi puzzle game. Real weird slidey puzzle game. Yeah, no argument there.
Um, Followed by Virtua Fighter 2.
On the Genesis, you got to clarify.
I
Very
didn't.
different game in the arcades.
I mean, not doing arcades on here. Followed by let's do two more that will upset people greatly, which would be Mega Man: The Wily Wars, and then Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels.
So the lost levels you're forgiven for because you don't rewind. And so you just took the frustration of that game right to the face. But to put the Wily Wars, which is a graphically superior upgrade to Mega Man 1 through 3 in your bottom 10 is freaking wild, Mike. It was just frustration factor for you?
A lot, yeah. Just and not liking the feel of the game.
Okay. Yeah. The early Mega Man games, the movement wasn't great. So, you know, it's just so iconic and so influential. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of this as I was going through this because I put all of these on cards and I separated them out into sort of groups that would be easier to compare against one another.
did you get a picture of this at some point of all the cards on the
I do
floor?
have a picture of all of the groupings
Okay.
once I've done all the rankings, and so I had about like 15 or 16 or something, and it's like all the sports games were in one thing, and all the Zelda games specifically were in another.
Yeah.
And then I just started combining things, and then a couple were just like miscellaneous, like here's a bunch of games that kind of showed up in one pile because they didn't fit anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and then continuing down would be Star Soldier,
Somewhat forgettable shooter.
and then Congo's Caper.
Yep. Ryan Lay was right about that one. Good on you, War Boss 5. The,
Then
the invention of the Super Nintendo. No, Nintendo 64. That's
yes,
what it was.
and we're down to the bottom three,
Yeah.
which are
Third worst
Flicky,
on the Sega Genesis. Yeah, weird kind of puzzle platformer with the chickens.
and then Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which may be the most that feels like the most wrong I am on one of these, I guess.
Well, to say it's the second worst game we've ever played.
I was so frustrated with that thing. Um,
It felt personal.
it, Personal, at least I would have known it was respecting me as an individual. And then at the very bottom, for me is Xevious
Xevious
because
the Avenger. Yep, yep. Poor Xevious. But I believe it was Marceloon who was telling us for the first time, just how influential that game was, both for like soundtrack having its own like rock spin-off and first ever story. Yeah, yeah. So I know that some of my bottom 10 is going to look a bit similar. So starting at 88 is right? Is it line
89
88? 89. So starting at line 89.
at ranking 89.
Okay. Ghosts and Goblins. So, which is wild because I know that the other game we covered in that episode is way up on our list. So that might be the series with the biggest span of quality on our combined list. Yeah, Ghosts and Goblins. Ooh. Then there's my boy Congo's Caper. So also equally frustrated by that game. Not equally though, because I rewound to not be suffering through that.
I mean, I
Um,
think that was much higher for you until you had to go get some gameplay footage and not rewind.
Yeah. Yep. Rewinding went a long way on Congo's Caper. Um, then Burger Time Deluxe, which barely eked out of your bottom 10. So that's not far off on yours. Claymates uh, is the next worst game, in my opinion. Kind of surprised I didn't see that one show up on your bottom 10. Like, that game's not good. But that was our very first episode 0. So maybe its
It's
badness
pretty
wasn't fresh
close
in
to
your mind.
it is also very near the bottom of mine.
Yeah. So then 93 and 94 tennis and super tennis. I don't know. I just could not think of a reason to ever revisit either one of those. Tennis being so bare bones and super tennis being just utterly humorless and just nothing really interesting going on in that one, except for the crazy ending where you get kicked out of your house and your house collapses. 95, Andrew, I love you, my friend. Don't hate me, but Clue Land. That game is just not fun for me to play. Uh, and then I guess continuing the theme of me not being a sports guy, my bottom 3 games: 96 baseball, 97 Yoshi, and then 98 Xevious. So I think we know what our bottom game's going to be, Mike.
Yeah, I think that is a little clear. I think we always knew.
Right. So then mathematically, then Yoshi Congo's Capers also got to be real low on our and standing. So, all right, Mike. So those are our bottom games. Will you walk us through the top of your list?
All right. So the top of my list, going from 10th up to my top game.
Yeah,
Number 10 is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening.
it's so good. Yep, love all those wacky references.
Number 9, a game that we haven't covered yet, or we haven't released yet, but will be
Right.
coming, is Chibi Robo, which will be our second episode of the season.
That's gonna be such a surprise. I remember when we recorded that episode, and our listeners will get to listen to it soon. Um, I'm just so happy you took to it. Like, I was such my game too. That's gonna be high up in our combined list. I love Chibi Robo.
Yeah. Number 8 is Joe and Mac.
Insane.
Yeah, I know.
Insane. Like, you know the game's not that good.
I know you're gonna feel it's insane.
It's just Joe and Mac 2 is so much better. Not for you though.
Nope.
Not for the mic list. This is why the lists are separate, okay?
Yes.
It doesn't cause a podcast divorce. All right, I'll shut up because I love your number 7.
Yeah. Number 7, Ghouls and Ghosts.
Chef's Kiss, wonderful. Nintendo 64, I think, is what I gave it. Like, maybe I gave it a Super Nintendo, but God, that game's good. It feels so good.
Number 6 is Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, my highest Zelda.
Yeah. So you're a top down. You're more of a top down guy.
I don't know if I necessarily it's more of a top-down guy, so much as I am not as much a fan of N64 era 3D.
Okay. Okay, I can see that. And I mean, it's the quality is impossible to argue. It's such a well put together game. Number 5, that's the top 5, Mike. What's next?
Number 5, Excite Bike 64.
That game was so surprising in how much it had to offer, but I just didn't think the controls were tight enough, or maybe I just wasn't good enough at it. You're just trying to bring up the old wound of that soccer match, aren't you?
I'm not, although I'm glad you bring it up.
Yeah, fringe benefit. Yeah, go back and watch our season 1 episode if you want to see how much of a cheater Mike really is. You guys think I cheat with the rewinding? You just
I
wait till
cheat
the
by
end of,
following the rules of the game we're playing.
something. Some would say that is cheating. I don't know who that some is, but I'm gonna find him one day. All right, number 4.
Number 4, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
So good. So good. I'm almost certain that's in my top 10, so that's going to be high up on our combined list. But better than Sonic 2 is our other Sonic game, Mike.
Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball, yes.
Wild. That game, it's just special to you, I guess. It's just your love of pinball and
I mean, I'm going to point out that like currently sitting in my apartment is the only thing I bought on Black Friday was the vinyl of the music for Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball.
which reminded me, you'll have to let me know if the theme song is how that record begins, because let's not forget the theme song was written in a couple of hours. And so I wonder if that is like the narrowest window for, composition to vinyl record. Like, that's fun. Okay, so not too surprised by actually, you know what? I thought this would be your number 1. What's your number 2 game, Mike?
My number 2 is Mario Kart 64.
Which I thought was your number 1. But then here comes number 1.
Number 1 is Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is one of our most popular shorts. So, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube if you want to see our short form content. But Derek talking about the joy of catching a Charizard in Pokemon Snap. And this was, if I remember correctly, when you got a Switch before I even pitched the show to you, this was the first game you booted up when you joined my family plan.
I think it was because
Yeah.
it was one that I had on multiple occasions tried to emulate that game so that I
Yeah.
could play it, and it did not work. So
Yeah. Some N64 games are hard to emulate, strangely enough. So, and that's why the analog 3D, which we covered in our last episode, is such a cool moment for a lot of people because it uses the OG cartridges. And if that's
yeah,
interesting to you, go back and listen to our analog 3D episode with Kyle.
yeah. There's something about the rail shooting, effectively it's a rail shooter. Something about handling those controls. It doesn't. I can't get it to control one of the parts
Yeah.
it needed to.
Yeah, that's a big part of the game. It's all about precision.
Yeah, being able to aim the camera kind of mattered.
So then my top 10 games, we are starting with rank number 10, Ghouls and Ghosts. Again, we both love that game. And then I have a whole Zelda chunk.
Yeah.
Uh, 9, 8, and 7 is Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Link's Awakening. So I think Zelda's gonna have a strong showing in our combined list. That's for sure. Um, Number 6, Chibi Robo. That's yeah. Like I'm excited to see that so unexpectedly high on our combined list. Number 5, Legend of Zelda Four Swords. I'm surprised this one didn't make it into your top 10. I thought you had a lot of fun when we played it.
I did have a solid amount of fun with that. And actually, right before we did this, I shifted that down a bit because I wasn't fully sure where to put that. Because you kind of have ultimately, I treated it as Four Swords as just the Four Swords part, and not the fact that that also gets you. Because I think that was effectively the same thing as also like the color version that has some other stuff
You're
in the game.
thinking of Link to the Past on Game Boy Advance. Was packaged on the same cartridge as Four Swords.
Yeah, and so in my mind, those were kind of linked for a long while in my ranking before I kind of broke them off because they were packaged
Yeah.
as one thing.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to rank them together. They're two very distinct pieces. Number 4, Star Fox 64. Didn't show up in your top 10, but I like that one. And and Jordan's gonna be happy to hear that get so high up there. Number 3, for context, is my favorite. Well, I guess it used to be my favorite game. I discovered it's actually Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, but Street Fighter 2 is so dang good. This really should be my number one game, but because the controls on the Switch are so hampered. Although now, can we remap Genesis controls yet? Is that a thing?
I don't know. That feels
Hmm.
like if it's not, it should come soon.
Right. They started like remapping or allowing you to remap the controls for you know, Nintendo classics. But I can't for the life of me right now remember if Genesis has that yet or not. I'm gonna boot it up while we do the last couple here. Number 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yeah.
So like that's clearly gonna be in our top 10. And then number 1, Mario Kart 64. Now Justin's gonna want to punch me for for not putting Sonic the Hedgehog 2 at number 1, but Mario Kart 64, Mike, it's just battle mode is still fun.
I
Like
think
to
that
this day.
yeah, I think that may still remain it's the best incarnation of battle.
Yeah, I don't think it has ever been improved. I would
It's not
totally
even
agree.
been matched, I don't think.
No. And I did just confirm that the Genesis on Nintendo Classics does not have customizable controls yet. So hey, Nintendo, I know you're listening, Nintendo. Get on that. All right,
Yeah.
Mike. So now
I
we ready
imagine
to,
that's coming.
I hope, or unless it's as we fear, and Nintendo is slowly ignoring the Genesis app until it just fades into the horizon. But it's been a long time since we got a new Genesis game, and I don't know. As we said in one of our other Light Switch episodes, actually no, our finale episode, you said you wanted another Genesis console added to Nintendo Classics. So that would be pretty dope. Okay, so now are we ready to take a look at our and standings?
Yes.
Okay. So like I said, I am going to be reading them off, starting with the very bottom. I'll just do the whole list, including Xevious, poor Xevious, and then kind of bopping through at a good clip. And if you don't want to hear us go through all the games, you have a couple of options. Mike, what are those?
Um, so first of all, we'll be having this up on our website as well, so you can go through it at your own pace, and that'll have the full lists for both of us, as well as the and standings combined list. And then check the show notes or the chapters on this for the timestamps, because we will put a timestamp to the top 10 so you can jump straight to that if you want to see what's the top of the list.
And do you want me to read off the numbers again? Okay, I forgot. Are we reading off numbers or are we just doing names?
Let's do numbers.
All right, so here we go. Number 98, Xevious. Any doubt. 97, Yoshi. 96, Congo's Caper. 95,
No,
Flicky.
90 tied for 93.
Tied for 93 is Flicky, Claymates, and Burger Time Deluxe. All right. 92, Super Tennis. 91, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. So it still made it into our bottom 10, Mike. Not quite the second worst game, but it's in the bottom 10. I had a rough time with that as well. Tied for 89 is Star Soldier and Clue Clue Land. 88, Baseball on the NES. 87, Pilot Wings. Tied for 84?
85.
Tied for 85. I'm gonna get the hang of this. Virtua Fighter 2 on the Genesis and Ghoul Patrol. 84, Dig Dug 2, Trouble in Paradise. You were disappointed by that one
Yeah,
because that's the one where you were hoping it was gonna be Dig Dug.
I think everybody would be hoping it was Dig Dug.
Yeah. Then 83, Super Soccer. 82, Doomsday Warrior. Tied for 80, Super Punch Out and Tennis. 79, Super Mario Brothers The Lost Levels. 78, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Mike, what's this doing all the way down here?
Sitting quite calmly, it would appear.
Justice for Zelda 2. I will die on that hill one day. 77, Mario Brothers, the arcade game, not Super Mario Brothers. The arcade one where you have to hit the turtles from underneath. 76, Golden Axe 2. 75, Dr. Mario on the NES. 74, Metroid. I did what I could, everybody. Okay. I got it out of the bottom, the bottom dregs. 73, The Legend of Zelda, NES. Yeah, that game has not aged that well, has it?
Yeah, I think it definitely is a product of its time, and part of it, the product of its time was the expectation that you would be getting help on that game from other people.
Yeah, which you did not.
I did not.
And then also that's, to beat that one, I had to rewind like mad. That game just feels unfair towards the end and like the last dungeon. 72, Kung Fu Heroes. 71, Pinball on the NES. 70, sorry. No, that's right. 70. I didn't screw
Yeah.
up. Star Fox on the SNES. Again, another iconic game. It's very historically important, but just not that fun to play by modern standards,
I I
right?
I think it also just the graphics are rough.
Right. Yeah. I mean, revolutionary for the time, but by today's standards, playing with polygons with that few frames of animation, it's a bit of an eyesore. But I'm happy to see though that Star Fox 2 and Star Fox 64 looks like they're going to be higher. I would guess Star Fox 64 much higher, but let's see how it shakes out. Tied for 67th place, a three-way tie, Mappy Land, Kirby's Dream Land 3, and Dr. Mario on the Game Boy. 66, Super Baseball Simulator 1000. 65, our first game we ever covered, Jelly Boy. Episode 0. There he is. Tied for 62nd place, another three-way tie. Metroid 2 Return of Samus, Mega Man The Wily Wars, and Kid Icarus. That's an embarrassing little chunk because those are three very cool, iconic games. So I blame you for them being this low.
I think one of those may not be me.
Kid Icarus, I put kind of low.
Yeah, no, I thought I had
Kid Icarus
Metroid.
higher than me.
I don't know where I ended up with a Metroid 2. Check the website, find out where I put Metroid 2 because I don't remember.
While
Yeah.
he's looking, I'll keep going. 61, Ghosts and Goblins, the NES version. Cyril wants you to know it's not the arcade version. 60, Excite Bike. Tied for 57th, Spanky's Quest, Smash Tennis, and Castlevania. Sorry, Kai. Although we're getting kind of in the middle of the pack here. This is kind of not super embarrassing.
Yeah, and it is kind of interesting. Like we have the pack is not as separated out as one would think when you look at. We'll also put like what the average ranking is on this, and just there's a massive chunk in the middle, and I think a lot of that represents very divisive takes
Yeah.
between us, and
Yeah.
they all just kind of average out into the middle bit.
It's the embodiment of our arguments, Mike, is why I like it. 56, F-Zero. 55, Prehistoric Man. That thing, that goofy little game beat out some classics. So kind of pulling for you, whatever that caveman's name was. Tied for 53rd, Kid Chameleon and Breath of Fire. Those are two very different games to tie. 52, Kirby's Dream Land 2. That was the Game Boy one with the animal companion. 51, Fighter's History. That's definitely one of the big surprises. That was the Street Fighter clone. That was like, this is actually kind of fun to play. Like, we had a decent time with that one. 50, Dr. Mario 64. 49, ooh, our first season 4 game, Solomon's Key. Tune in to episode 3 or 4 of
Four.
season 4 to see why we liked that game, or at least why I liked it and why Mike tolerated it. Spoiler alert. All right, 48, Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, so I think at this point now we're at like, okay, these games are good, right? Which again speaks to the quality of Nintendo classics that we've covered this many just good games for like $20 a year or $50 a year if you get all the systems. Like, I don't know, man. Someone's got to know about Nintendo classics out there. 47, Echo the Dolphin. Still our most popular TikTok to date. That thing is still chugging along with the viewership. Love that one.
It's still getting more
46.
views than new videos.
Yeah, it is. It truly is. Something about the conspiracy theory alien aspect of Echo the Dolphin really grabbed the internet by the brain banana. 46, Wario's Woods, my beloved Wario's Woods. I think maybe the best puzzle game we've played so far. And then a huge tie.
We have a
All
two. No, we have a two-way tie
I see that.
followed
Yes,
by a
yes.
five-way tie.
Gotcha. Okay, so tied for 44th, Joe and Mac 2, Lost in the Tropics, and Super Mario Kart. Both very quality games. I'm not mad at that. And then tied for 39th place is a five-way tie versus Excite Bike, Star Fox 2, excuse me, Shining Force 2, Crystallis, and Castlevania Legends. What I love about that is that Castlevania Legends is by far thought of as the forgotten or forgettable game. But you and I had that sweet spot of like, this game's not bad.
Yeah, I had fun with that one.
And you beat that one
I
without
beat that one.
rewinding.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was satisfying.
yeah. And
So
then it's like, oh, people's complaint. It's too easy. It's like, well, I'm good with
made
that.
these boys happy. Justice for Sonia Belmont. Leave a comment if you also like Sonia Belmont. Okay, so then now we're out of the tie. 38th place, Mario Kart Super Circuit. I was kind of surprised to see that rank higher than the SNES one because we both kind of agreed that one was kind of rendered irrelevant.
If I was gonna play one of them though, I'd be more likely to play it.
hmm Yeah, it looks better. It's got the slight 3D elements. It's kind of more what you expect Mario Kart to feel like. Yeah, I'm with you. 37, Punch Out on the NES. 36, Kirby's Dream Land. 35, Mario Party. Tied for 33. I don't want to read this. Mike, you read it. I ain't reading this one.
Tied for
Bull.
33rd is the classic Joe and Mac,
I knew you were going to say it like that.
and also Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition.
Listen, internet, I know you hate Mike like I do right now, but listen, the controls. If you have the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass, boot up Street Fighter on the Genesis and see how unwieldy it is to have those controls on a well, just period. Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
they
it probably is worth noting that that is another factor to this. Like that is the highest fighting game that
insane. Insane. Mike does not like fighting games, and I love them. As we need that meme, that Godfather, look what they did to my boy. They massacred my boy. Like that's what you did. You bastard. All right. 32, Kirby Superstar. 31, Blast Core. Yeah, that was high in both our lists. Then a tie for 29th, Kirby's Adventure and Super Mario World. Those are both really high quality Nintendo platformers. I'm not mad. Like that might be the best NES platformer we played, paired with the best or one of the best Super Nintendo platformers we played. So yeah, and Mike's not a platformer guy, so I bet that
yeah.
probably knocked those down a bit. Tied for 27th, Mario Tennis and Fantasy Star 4. Interesting. Fantasy Star 4 I thought was super underrated. We both liked it though. 26th, Mario's Picross. Then tied for 23rd, Breath of Fire 2, Mario Super Picross, and Pilot Wings 64. I like when we have little variety clusters like that. A flight sim, a puzzle game, and an RPG all tied for 23rd. What a weird list.
Yeah, the Picross games ending up higher on here than I thought they might have.
Yeah, well, I mean, you remember I cheated and you said that ruined the point of the game, but look, I had fun. So who are you to say that I played the game wrong? I had fun. Um, I know you're like, I'm to say you're wrong, but you didn't say it. 22nd, Golden Axe on the Genesis, a launch game for the Genesis. Pretty cool, pretty cool. 21st, Excite Bike 64. Again, a game I liked more playing against you than playing the against the computer. Another season 4 episode, Tech Mobile at the 20th place. That was another pleasant surprise. We'll definitely, invite you to listen to that episode. We had our friends from Arcadiology, Brad and Jordan, back. And a lot of competition between the two podcasts in that episode. I won't tell you how it shook out, nor do I want to remember.
Yeah, that'll be coming out just after the Super Bowl because we have a vague awareness of sports, and so we timed it.
You're very generous to say we, but you have a vague awareness of sports. If you had told me the Super Bowl takes place in November, I would have completely believed you, Mike.
The whole point of this show is averaging us out and then
Look at
kind of
that.
being where
Look
we
at
are.
that. Look at that, Mike. Okay, we should make a romantic comedy where we both fall in love with the same robot. Okay. Tied for 18th place. Someone plug that into AI and make that script. Thank you very much. Tied for 18th, Sin and Punishment and The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Yeah. I mean, again, two very cool, very unique N64 games. Um, you liked Sin and Punishment more than Majora's Mask, right?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. And I
even
was
with the wall that I hit on Sin and Punishment.
right. Yeah. You like the novelty of it. And you discovered the Pacific Rim multiplayer mode. All right. So, 17th, Star Fox 64. Okay. Not mad at that. 16th, because we love the boys at Smashing Game Time so much, we covered a game that was not in the Nintendo Classics catalog. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. So that one's high up there, and it is available for purchase on the Switch. It also has Ghoul Patrol, which is in your bottom 10. So it's quite a range of quality on that two pack. All right, we're getting towards the top here. 15th, Gunstar Heroes. I mean, no surprise there. Super high quality. Number 14, F-Zero 99. Not in Nintendo Classics, but included with your Nintendo Switch Online subscription. Mike, how do you feel about that one?
Um, it's a little higher than I expected, and I think it's just I feel like a lot more games offer something more, but I'm still very glad that they have F-Zero 99 and they've continued to support it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like that is I'm glad to see them doing stuff like that. Even it, and I have it is one like I have played a solid amount of. There were just other things that ended up higher than it,
yeah,
but I appreciate that. And there was a stretch where I was trying to play it sort of daily for a couple weeks.
yeah. And I can't really think of something Nintendo, I mean, beyond continuing to support Tetris 99, which is nice, but they haven't really done anything like this. There felt like there was a hot minute there where Nintendo was doing all these neat free games, and I feel like they've kind of cooled on that. So I would love
Well,
to see it again.
or I would say I think because not so much free as I thought that required the subscription.
Okay, yeah, I shouldn't say free. Free with the subscription, which is an
Yeah,
oxymoron.
yeah,
Yeah, good point.
more additional things to make the subscription neat.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Do more of that.
13, Shining Force. There you go, War Boss. War Boss 5, excuse me. 12, Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball. That's that janky game coming in almost our top 10.
Our highest
11,
pinball game of the show.
yeah, huge gap there. 11, The Legend of Zelda Four Swords. Okay, so you'd like that too. In our combined list, that almost broke top 10. I adore that. I still want to get together. Rich? That's Riri and Butch combined. Butch, Riri, kill let's get back online. I still haven't beaten that game, and I would
I
love to.
also still haven't beaten that game, and that is in
Which,
the like, should do that at some point.
hey, you know what, Mike? Maybe we should make that one of our New Year's resolutions for our next segment. So, drum roll, please. The top 10 games of the and standings. The Mike and I theoretically agree. Number 10, Ninja Gaiden. Yeah. Okay. Starting off the top 10 strong. There you go,
See, a
Timmy.
classic game that I actually put high.
Yeah. Yeah. You are not wrong about everything. Number 9, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, which just swept. Actually, they just beat you in the Cable Club League. It was between StarCraft and that for the top game,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
kind of stinks because Derek gets that cool belt, and for coming in second, you don't get anything. But I felt better
yeah.
because Third Strike also.
I was aiming for like to win the second tier,
Yeah,
and I did not know until was on with them that they were big StarCraft fans, and it went straight to the top. I was like, oh, that was not what I expected.
yeah, yeah. And I also want to point out, Cable Club League, if you're listening. When you asked me how I felt about Third Strike's chances in the league, I said that you're going to be wrong about it. So just know that when you place this lower than it should be, and you know what? It's nice to be proven right sometimes.
I mean,
Shh, shh, shh. You
there
should go to
was
sleep.
also the
No,
voters.
no, no, Mike. Dang it. Number 8, Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2. Yeah, Super Mario World. Oh, okay. Right. I forgot that we liked the Game Boy Advance one so much more. A lot of quality of life improvements on that one.
Huge amount. I
Huge
mean,
amount.
can you imagine playing this without hearing Mario say junk all the time?
Every time he jumps or whatever. Number 7, The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. You know, you can't be mad at that. Then tied for fifth place, Ghouls and Ghosts on the Sega Genesis and Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. I mean, I adore both those games. So that's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. I think the dark horse of this whole and standing is our number 4 game, Chibi Robo Plug into Adventure, baby, season 4. Mike, you didn't even know what Chibi Robo was before you played that game, right?
I did not.
Yeah, but gosh, that game is just listen to our upcoming episode, episode 2 of season 4. It's special. It's so wacky. So
It is
then,
the GameCube making a very strong entry into this.
yeah, roaring out of the gates. Our only GameCube game on here is in the top 5. So that made Pokemon Snap made the podium as it should. That game's fantastic. Number 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and number 1, it's a him. Mario Kart 64. I was like, knowing you and I knew Xevious was going to be the bottom, and I felt pretty sure that Mario Kart 64 was going to be our top. But that's fun. I like this. So, going on, starting in episode 5, we will be announcing our individual placements and then revealing the updated and standing list. And if you ever want to see where our combined rankings are, go to www.theoldswitcharoo.com. And yeah, I think that'll be fun. So Mike, we're releasing this episode New Year's Eve. So we want to wish our listeners a very happy New Year. And Mike did not give my blessing for this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I want to speed run a shout out to everyone in our Discord. So happy New Year to, I'm going to time myself. Labaka, Jaymo, Warboss, Ruby, Renos, Nick, Desi, Brad, John, Jordan, Rex, Chalcom, Derek, Light but Heavy, Butch, Don the Cable Club, Cujo Prime, Hapney, Crystal Lee Wasa. I'm Josh Sane, Arceus, Admiral J, Merc Saloon, Trunk Coyote, Jump Cancel, Brian, Kyle, the Coked Up Captain, Samari, Odd Julio, Dempsey, Podcaster Andrew, Defunct Games, Jay, Cassie, Nico, Rice, DK, Swagger Dragon, Cat Kenso, Co Andy, Lord Tottingham, him, No, you can have more, you can't have more soup, something, Boss, and Rinse and Hold. It means so much you guys are with us, and this is such a fun thing to do. We hope your 2026 is absolutely wonderful, and we hope all your New Year's resolutions come true.
And
Mike and I
good
have a
riddance
couple
to
of
2025.
yes, that was a rough one. fingers crossed for 2026. This is going to be the money one. Mike, what are some of your New Year's gaming resolutions? Oh, I forgot. That was about 50 seconds.
I think the first one I want to say, I want to start using the Atari 2600 Plus I have more. And
Yeah.
some of that is definitely motivated by the analog 3D bit that we did. Since the
Yeah.
Atari 2600 Plus is another, this plays the original games.
Well,
Um,
yeah, and I want you to have me over and we'll play combat and everything. Like that'd be a fun night.
yeah, and I'm also hoping to try to do a little bit of that as streaming.
Okay. Wow. The
See
most
it. We'll
low
see how that
graphical,
works.
probably the lowest graphic stream that's going to be on Twitch. That's amazing. Yeah. I didn't. Is it easy to hook up? I mean, I guess it's just HDMI, right?
It is HDMI, so I think it's just going to be getting it working for the capture part of it.
Yeah.
May not be. I got to figure that
Yeah.
out.
I mean, my little capture card for my Switch is a little wonky, so but again, I didn't really buy it that nice of a one, so that might be part of it too. Any other resolutions?
Um, I think there's probably, if I can find the time, there's a couple games that I would like to go back and try to complete that we
Yeah,
have.
that's gonna be some of mine. What's your resolution? What's your backlog resolution? I have a couple too.
I think the top one on that, because it's still sort of fresh in my mind, but I just need the time for it. Actually, is Chibi Robo. I would like to try and see if I can get through that.
I think you can. It's not a hard game once you figure out what to do, but it does have a bit of that moon logic stuff of like, I don't know if I would have ever thought to like use my radar in the weird crop circle in the backyard because it doesn't really tell me you can do that. You know what I mean? So if you're willing to check a guide if you get absolutely stuck, I think that's very doable. Um, my resolutions are that I have been really getting into VR boxing and I I'm putting this out there in the universe so I don't quit it. I want to make a body transformation video. I want to show how good of an effect this VR boxing game is having on me. Because getting in better shape is something I have been wanting to do for a long time, and um, I have gotten to the point of competency in the game where it's like I'm not being totally embarrassed anymore, and I'm working up a good sweat. So I am excited to show my progress on myself via Thrill of the Fight 2 on MetaQuest. So that's my one of my gaming resolutions. My other one, Brian. Brian, if you're still listening, I'm so sorry. I have had his copy of Miles Morales Spider-Man for like years now. And the game ain't that long. And when he loaned it to me, I said, just to be clear, you're not going to get this back for a while. And he's like, no, I'm fine with it. But it is an embarrassingly long time I've had that copy for a game that's that good. So that's definitely my backlog thing is finish Brian's copy of Spider-Man Miles Morales while he's still my friend. 'Cause, like that's pretty bad. Mike, any games for 2026 you're excited to play?
I am hoping for the release of the Mermaid Mask.
What is that?
So a while back, I had talked about a game in the Detective Grimoire series, called The Tangled Tower.
Yeah, I remember that. It was one of our Light Switch episodes.
Yeah, and it was from one of our Light Switch episodes where it is a solve mystery style game that I think is a really fun game. And it's a small developer, and they've been having, I'm gonna say, probably slightly unexpected success on one of their other games, and so they've been putting a bit more effort onto that, and so this has been delayed a bit. So it was supposed to be a 2025 release. I don't think it's gonna be, and I haven't seen an update on a specific date, but I believe I have seen them confirm that they are still working on it.
Okay.
So I am hoping that it comes out next year.
Yeah. Well, let's send good juju their way, right? Puzzle game, or it's kind of puzzle slash story, right? Mystery game.
Yeah, kind of Mr. Game thing. Like they do have a demo out that I haven't checked out because I'm just waiting for the full game. I think it's that they are also the developer for Crow Country.
Oh, yes, yes. I know which one you're talking about with that one. Yeah, well, so that'd be awesome if you can finally get to play that because, it's whenever a game gets delayed for that long, you always get nervous. Like, am I ever going to actually see this? So fingers crossed. My game for 2026, I'm most excited about is two Switch games, Switch 2 games rather, Dusk Bloods, which is the From Software Switch 2 exclusive, makers of Elden Ring and Bloodborne. It's basically Bloodborne 2, but only we on the Switch 2 get to play it. And like everyone's like, this is BS. It's so stupid. It's like, dude, Nintendo bankrolled this thing. Like, you can't get mad about exclusivity like when they paid for it. Um, and then Splatoon Raiders. It's been a while, I feel like, since we've gotten a new Splatoon game, and so I am itching to ink some turf, but this one's gonna be like an adventure game, which will be interesting because the campaign and story modes have always been that game's like weakest point, I think. Not to say that it's bad, it's just the multiplayer is so much better. So I am eager to see how they do an actual environmental. I mean, I hope they do. I hope it feels like I'm actually exploring an environment and not just like floating platforms, because that's usually what the game is like. Did you ever? You haven't gone in Splatoon since we did that like kaiju mode together that one time.
Um, I think I may have been back in it once or twice since then.
That's not really your thing.
Um, Not for or I think it's just I'm not good enough.
Okay. Well, Splatoon Raiders has a co-op mode, so maybe we'll adventure together. Who knows? Um, so Mike, I think we're ready to call it wraps for today, right? We good?
I think so.
Awesome. Well, we are going to wrap that up for today. Once again, very happy New Year to all of you. Please join us next time for our season 4 premiere, which will be going live on Wednesday, January 14th with Majora's Mask.
Until then, please remember to like, follow, or subscribe to the Old Switcheroo and rate or review this show wherever you get your podcasts. That helps us a lot. You can also visit www.theoldswitcharoo.com to find all our links there. We'd love to hear what you thought of this episode or what you're hoping to hear in future episodes.
And as always, thanks for listening to the Old Switcheroo, where we've been talking gaming retro with Mike and Jaymo.
I've been Mike.
And I've been Jaymo. Game on, everyone.